Did you find that in a barn or something, or someone's garage and boxes?
You ever heard of the Northeast Kingdom?
Yep, Island Pond. Oh, this is the car that we're looking at right now?
In a barn.
Is this car?
Yep. Yep. And that was the gal that owned it in the 50s.
Who ran it into the ground, huh?
Yeah. It was on Route 2 between Montpelier and St. Johnsbury.
Here's this car.
Halfway to St. Johnsbury. I can't remember the name of the town, though. That's a little long. At any rate, it was in pieces. Well, I lived in Santa Barbara 30 years, and I was an entry in Pebble Beach in 2004.
MG2415.
2 weeks before the show, I broke it.
MG2415
is kind of the weak link in this car, and the engine was finding the car. And what I found is that hard cornering, you get wheel lift, and then the wheel starts spinning like crazy, and the shock loading when it comes down, you think, there it goes in the rear axle. So that was a disappointment, but I raced it, and
things are coming along. Remove stiffener, plot holes, out body, cardboard brace, knock out dents, straighten wires.
This guy here was the sheet metal wizard, and he was just absolutely amazing.
Just gotta move the cup. It's putting a shadow in it we can't see. Or move the book. Okay.
But if you, there's a, like, you know, that's the fender there with the lace curtain. And he would literally take and puddle one bit of steel. He did both sides and ground it off. And he spent horrendous number of hours. But he was actually very efficient. And I was more than happy with what he charged me.
Now, when you bought the car, tell me a bit about the history, because here's MG2415. Is it a coincidence that it's MG, Morris Garage tag?
University Motors was the original dealer that sold it. They were the London distributor.
Stratton House W1, Grosvenor 4141.
And they bought up all of the MG registration numbers. And they charged a premium price for an MG registration. But they were, you know, I think a lot of the MGs that University Motors sold got MG registrations, but they're very desirable today. I don't know the real early history of the car, but this gal owned it in the 50s. She sold it to her kid brother in the early 60s, and this couple got married in the car in the early 60s.
This is in England.
In England, And then it further deteriorated, and an American bought it in '73 in Florida. Well, he bought it in England, but he lived in Florida, and parked the car in his garage in Florida, and there it sat until I bought it in '97. In fact, I knew the car, I knew him, and I had heard through the grapevine that he might be thinking of selling it. I knew he was kind of old, and I knew he hadn't done anything with the car. So I called him up and said, "Hey Bill, this is Chris, remember me?" And da-da-da-da. I heard you're interested in selling your L2. And he said, no, I can't sell the L2. It's my NB, another 6-cylinder MG that he had, this car, that he was interested in selling. So I sent him a letter saying, "Hey Bill, nice chatting with you. If you ever do decide to sell, let me know. I'm interested." A couple of years later, I get a phone call. "You don't know me, but my dad was Bill McQuaid, and he passed away, and I found your letter on his desk. Are you still interested in buying the car?" Yeah.
Now, where's the supercharger?
It was originally fitted with twin cars, but the superchargers were made for these cars.
I see.
And I acquired it via a trade.
So this is in Florida?
Yeah.
Now, did you buy both cars? Because here's
Well, this is
2415.
an MG friend from Santa Barbara,
Mm-hmm.
and basically there was an absolute ton of, literally a ton of parts
Mm-hmm.
that went with the car. So basically we did a package deal and bought both cars.
One for your friend in Santa Barbara, the nice car.
Well,
restored
it looks nice, but the truth of the matter is that that my car was actually better because this one had already been restored, and it was restored badly.
Amateur restoration. Good
yeah.
from far.
And this had never had a nickel spent on it. I mean, it was just
Like you had mentioned yesterday, running to the ground.
yeah.
Now, this is not in Florida or Santa Barbara.
No, that's Al Moss there, and we've stopped on the way through and visited with Al, who I used to work for.
So now you're taking the restored car to your friends in Santa Barbara?
I lived in Santa Barbara.
Oh, you live there. I
Yeah,
see. I see.
That's my Santa Barbara home.
I see. So this trailer allows you to load into the truck, or you
Well-
made that arrangement? I see a jack stand here to hold the trailer.
Well, we had to get, one car in the back of the U-Haul truck,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
costs us, yay so high
Right,
loading.
right.
So we figured, how are we going to do this? We rented the trailer, and what we wound up doing is
Oh, it's
backing-
backwards.
Yeah, we backed the L2 onto the trailer, turned the trailer around, put the ramps the other direction.
Yeah, I see it. Put a jack stand. You got concrete blocks there. You're working on this situation here. I've been there.
It worked really well.
Interesting. Now, was this car running? It
No, hadn't run in
just posing in it.
absolute years.
Oh, the dash is all removed. I see.
Yeah.
I see, I see.
And then I started the restoration December 27th, 97 was the day I started.
Disassembled it. Here it is. The metal worker, panel beater, tin
Yep.
knocker.
But he just did a magnificent job.
Now, where is he? Was he?
He was in Santa Barbara. And he was really a hot rodder. He made aerodynamic Harley trikes and Bonneville hot rods. Somewhere in here there's a glimpse of it. But he was not really a classic car guy as such. But boy, was he talented.
Comes together little by little, rolling chassis.
So it was apart and together just multiple times.
Now, this car? Is it in primer
Yeah,
or what?
It's just primer. Yeah. I actually drove it for about 1,000 miles in primer.
There's a supercharger. Lots of parts there. Lots of brass.
And this is the water pump propeller, and that's all modern technology. The original was just a crude 3-paddle affair. But the engine is built for serious racing.
Was built when it was.
I actually had it rebuilt in England because these engines are very complicated. They require a lot of precision machine work. It's Babbitt bearings, and you have to have a lot of sophisticated machining jigs in order to set everything up correctly. Line boring bearings, and this is line boring camshaft bearings. Made my own wiring harness.
You can tell you're back in the States because the tape measure is a 25-footer as opposed to a 7-meter tape. Well, England still uses English.
So this was actually getting the engine back from England and installed in the otherwise complete car, but in primer for the first time. And then after I drove it for a while, I then dismantled the whole car down to the last, particularly the chassis and all the bodywork. And at that point, all I had to do was the cosmetics, because everything had been machined, the kingpins had been fitted, and
To end up with this beautiful car. It's a long way, but you got things done. Springs being wrapped, painted.
That's awesome.
A few nuts and bolts.
All of the hardware is pre-war. All the original hardware is machined from the billet. They didn't use any, stamped, cold-headed bolts. So no bolts have any markings on the heads. So I went to horrendous pains to clean up what I could, and then I supplemented the rest of the hardware, going to Bewley Auto Jumbles and dragging my fingers through the bottoms of dustbins and stuff, looking for.
This is another car?
Yeah, I have a TC and a J2 and 26 inch.
TC is nice. You don't see many of them.
So this is the transmission that's normally in here. It's a pre-selector, but I sort of destroyed that racing it last year. But I've got it rebuilt and it's ready to go back in.
Testing the wiring. We'll get this figured out. And the color that you've chosen, the two-tone?
It's exactly as it was originally.
It was.
Yep.
It was. What a beautiful
The
car.
bonnet hinge is stamped with the paint code on all of these, what they call triple M cars. So, you know what the color's supposed to be originally. And when I dismantled this, I pulled the rear fender and the gas tank. There was original paint that was visible. So I cleaned that up very carefully, and I matched the paint before I actually stripped the paint.
It's a beautiful color. What do they call these two shades of red?
Well, they call it Saratoga Red and Carmen Red.
Wow. Was the number plate still intact?
No, I had to have those made. The plates that came with it are the plates that appear in the picture, but those are post-war style. I was the poster boy last year for that.
Well, Lime Rock Park. Yeah, we've been there.
So that's my J2. That's a car that was sold new in Casablanca. And
The White House,
completely
Casablanca.
off the road from 1936 until I registered it in 1994.
So you should pick me up probably as well.
And how does it differ from this one? They look very similar. Yours
Well,
looks
this is 4-cylinder, 847 cc's, 36 horsepower, and this is 1408 cc's, 140 horsepower.
Wow.
They're basically, it's the same car from the firewall back, but the bonnet on the J2 is about 9-10 inches shorter than the bonnet on the L2.
The L2 covers the cowl area, which is now exposed.
Well, the J2 is exactly the same in that regard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Never seen this before.
And the J2, if you saw a J2 sitting, you'd say, "Oh, isn't that a great-looking car?" And then this pulls up next to it, and you say, "Whoa, this is on steroids." This is just much sexier.
And the Lotuses and Austin Healys are pulling in right behind us. I keep getting distracted by the little rumbles. What do we got here? Knockoff? Elva.
Oh, how do you do this, Dan? It's really nice to see you. Hello. You look familiar.
So,
How's it going? It's going. I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. Hang on just a second. Let me finish up with this guy. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I apologize. I've only got a minute and 49 seconds left on this
He's
chip. So
videoing.
yeah, it'll be on YouTube. I'm CORVAIRWILD on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at putting up the videos. And this is the newest project.
This guy here owned the car. We just met for the first time since the day I bought it, which was January 4th, 1997. 2000.
TR6.
It was January, there was no snow.
Well, it doesn't snow
And
anymore
what
in the winter.
town?
The maple trees will all be in the Arctic soon.
That's it. I couldn't remember the name of the town.
And this car is
A 1926 MG Super Sport
touring car.
touring car.
Yeah.
A lot of story to tell you about this. I have spent years researching that car.
No overhead valves. Flathead.
Flathead 4, yeah. It's pretty primitive. About 30 horsepower on a good day.
Wood wheels. Brass.
No, they're actually
Are they steel?
they're steel. They're it's funny, they're steel, but they're wood inside.
Yeah, right.
So you've got it running?
No.
Okay. You said 30, for 30 horsepower on a good day. I thought maybe you'd been out
No,
on a good day.
but I've had it together and apart multiple times. And I actually, these are old pictures. It's progressed far beyond this.
Bells and cranks and levers and brass.
Oh, yeah. Magneto, ignition.
Carbide headlamps.
No, they're electric.
Electric. Well, I've got 5 seconds left, so thank you.
It's been nice chatting with you.